In April of 2025, I quit my job and left my home country to move to Sweden and build a business there with less than 2,000 euros in my bank account. I didn't really know how it was going to work. If it was going to work, I just knew that I couldn't stay where I was. Entrepreneurship online looks very clean. All you really see is the money and the freedom. And I wish that me from 3 or 4 years ago could see this video, because then he would know that there's a lot more to it than what most people show you. You don't really see the sleepless nights, the doubt, the pressure, all this kind of stuff. And please understand that I'm not talking from the perspective of some millionaire business guru, because I'm not there yet. I'm speaking from the perspective of someone who's still digging through the mud. So I thought maybe this video could be valuable to someone in a similar position. The move to Sweden didn't come out of nowhere. The previous 3 or 4 years leading up to the move, I was trying to figure out this whole build a business thing, this whole get rich thing. I started with learning copywriting while I was still in uni, and I was doing that as a freelancer. I hated university though, and I realized pretty quickly, considering my goals, that going to university was a waste of my time, so I dropped out. And somewhere around that time, me and a couple of my friends started dropshipping, because we got inspired by people online building these online businesses and stuff, and we were like, why not, let's give it a go. We didn't stick with it for long, however, but the one thing that did pique my interest was the marketing aspect of it. So the following 3 years I just spent learning digital marketing, building my skills in that, and gaining experience as a freelancer. And then more recently, towards the tail end of 2024, I got the opportunity to move to Sweden with 2 of my best friends as business partners to build a business here. This idea came at a good time, because at the time I felt like my freelancing business wasn't going as well as I thought it could have been by then, and I felt like I was stuck. Like I could have been doing more, but I wasn't really moving. So then I thought about it and I said, screw it, I don't really have anything to lose, let's just give it a go. Then in April of 2025, me and my best friend, one of my business partners, we packed up all our stuff, threw it in my car, and we drove off to meet our other business partner, who is a local here. When you leave your comfort zone like that and remove the safety net, suddenly every decision feels like it carries more weight, and you feel a real sense of responsibility. Because we had basically no money and we didn't want to move back home as failures, it gave us a very novel feeling of pressure. In our heads, it simply had to work. And I'll be honest, since moving here throughout this last year, there have been moments where I was questioning my decision to come here. I was doubting whether I could make it work. There were a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of doubt. At one point, I even got a very good job offer back at home. I probably could have made a lot of money, and I think it would have been easier. It would have been more comfortable, and I was considering taking the job. I even had a period where I had some health issues, and that then led to another period where I had some mental health problems. But in the end, even though every part of me was screaming at me to give up and go back home, I just decided that I was going to see it through and make it work, no matter how much it sucked. And the one thing I'm most proud of, both for myself and for the boys, is the fact that we are still here. Not even, the success we've seen since. It didn't take long for us to start landing clients. Now, make no mistake, it wasn't really explosive growth. It has been slow and steady, and we've had to go through a lot of pain for it. But perhaps even more valuable than the success we've had here since we started this business is some of these lessons that I want to share with you today. And the first one that I already knew, but it really only clicked for me once I came here, was that you have nothing to fear. Obviously, it's scary to move to a foreign country, quit your job, leave everything behind. But at the end of the day, even if everything fails, you're not gonna die. And you can just go back to square one and try again. And what I wrote down for this other lesson that I wanted to share with you is growth demands discomfort. If you're truly set on building a successful business or becoming a pro athlete, becoming a singer, whatever it may be, you must understand that growth demands discomfort. There is no growth without pain. There's no victory without sacrifice. Okay? This is also something that I knew, but I didn't really fully understand it. It hadn't really fully clicked. And I think that may be the case with most people, because yeah, you know, there's really nothing to fear, yet you're still afraid, and you know you have to go through discomfort to achieve anything substantial, but still you're hesitant. So since coming here and building this business, I really had to learn how to put my inner dialogue on mute. And I wouldn't say I'm perfect, by no means. It's a continuous process. But I've realized that most people don't fail because they're not good enough. They fail because they don't stick with it long enough. And the beginning especially is always going to be the most difficult to get through. I can almost guarantee you that whatever you're trying to achieve, in that first phase where you're not really seeing any big success yet, and you're unsure if this is going to work for you long term, there will be a moment where you will be weakest and a lot of doubt will come in, and you will be second guessing every decision you've ever made up until that point. And that's exactly when you will have your inner dialogue screaming at you to quit and give up and try something else. Maybe this will be easier. Maybe the grass is greener over there. But eventually you have to decide that I don't care how much it sucks. I don't care how long it's going to take. I'm going to see this through until the end, no matter what. I think that lesson specifically is one of the most important ones you can really learn and internalize. I know it has been for me, especially nowadays that everyone has shiny object syndrome. Everyone always thinks the grass is going to be greener elsewhere, when in reality the grass is greener where you water it. Take me for example. Back when I was 18, 19 and I started the whole dropshipping thing with my friends, it didn't fail because, you know, we were just too bad at it. It failed because we didn't stick with it long enough to figure it out. So, to wrap everything up, remember, do not be afraid. You're not going to die. And remember that growth demands discomfort. When you're working towards your goals, discomfort is not a sign to stop. It's a sign that you're getting closer and you are growing. So you need to keep going. As I mentioned earlier, I think hearing this would have been helpful for me 3 or 4 years ago. And if one person can watch this and run with that lesson, then I'm happy. So yeah, talk soon.